In this video presentation I shall discuss 44 short answer type questions and their answers from William Saroyan's The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. Now my dear students, I welcome you all to my educational channel. The name of my educational channel is Priyankar Datta. Here you will find video presentations on English language and literature of school level, college level as well as of competitive examinations. Now let us move to the main focus of this video presentation. 1. How was the time when the story was written? Answer: when the story was written, the days were good. The world was full of every imaginable kind of magnificence. Moreover, life was a delightful and mysterious dream. In short, it was a time which was free from problems and difficulties. 2. What were the different opinions about Mourad? Answer: there were two different opinions about Mourad. People other than the narrator thought that Mourad was crazy. However, the narrator looked upon Mourad as a normal person. Since Mourad was the cousin of the narrator, his view about Mourad is likely to be more acceptable. 3. When did Mourad call Aram? Answer: Mourad called Aram at 4 a.m. It was a few minutes for daybreak. However, as it was summer, there was light enough for the narrator to see Mourad sitting on a beautiful white horse. However, it was not morning yet. 4. How did Mourad wake the narrator and to what effect? Answer: Mourad woke the narrator up by tapping on the window of his room and calling out his name. As a result, the narrator jumped out of bed and looked out of the window. Then he stuck his head out of the window and rubbed his eyes. 5. What were the initial words of Mourad to the narrator? Answer: finding the narrator extremely wonderstruck in seeing him sitting on a horse, Mourad assured him that it was horse. Then he added that the narrator was not dreaming. He also told the narrator to make it quick if he wanted to ride. 6. Why could the narrator not believe when he saw Mourad sitting on a beautiful white horse? Answer: when the narrator saw Mourad sitting on a beautiful white horse, he could not believe it for two reasons. First, his first longing was to ride, and so it was a sort of wish fulfillment to him. Secondly, they were poor and so were incapable of having a horse. 7. What did the narrator do to ensure that he was not dreaming and to what effect? Answer: to ensure that he was not dreaming, the narrator rubbed his eyes. Mourad sensed it. Therefore, he told the narrator that he was not dreaming. He even told him to be quick if he wanted to have a ride on the horse. 8. What does the narrator say about their poverty? Answer: the narrator says that like every people belonging to the Garoglania family, they were poverty-ridden. He adds that there was something amazing and comical about their poverty. However, he does not forget to mention that despite this excruciating poverty, they were honest and were famous for it. 9. What did the narrator say about their honesty? Answer: the narrator said that they were poor but honest. He added that they were famous for their honesty. He also said that they had been famous for 11 centuries. The key fact was that they were proud of this honesty and wanted to preserve it at any cost. 10. In what sense is the poverty of the people of the Garoglania family amazing and comical? Answer: the poverty of the people of the Garoglania family was amazing because nobody could understood where from they got money to procure food. It was comical because it could not inject in the people the feeling of unhappiness. 11. Why could the narrator not believe that the horse had anything to do with Mourad or him or with any of the other members of our family? Answer: the narrator knew that he belonged to a family which was extremely poor. He was therefore sure that the horse was not purchased by any member of their family. Moreover, he believed that no one of their family would steal. Therefore, the narrator could not believe it. 12. What was the confusion of the narrator about the involvement of Mourad in the matter of the horse he brought? Answer: the narrator knew that Mourad belonged to a very poor family and could not have bought the horse. Then there was every possibility that he had stolen it, but the narrator did not want to accept it. In short, the narrator was confused in this matter. 13. What similarities did the narrator find in Mourad and the horse, and to what effect? Answer. The narrator found two similarities in Mourad and the horse. In reality, he found pious stillness and humor in both of them. There was no sense of unfamiliarity between them. They seemed to enjoy one another's company. As a result, the narrator became delighted and frightened at the same time. 14. How did Mourad react when the narrator asked him where from he had stolen the horse? Answer. When the narrator asked Mourad where from he had stolen the horse, Mourad did not answer it. Moreover, he evaded the matter by telling the narrator leap out of the window if he wanted to ride on the horse. From it, the narrator became certain that Mourad had stolen the horse. 15. Which theory about stealing was offered by the narrator? Answer. According to the narrator, stealing a horse for having a ride on it was not stealing until the horse was sold to someone else. However, the narrator looked upon stealing for money as genuine stealing. Actually, he analyzed the motive of stealing, not the act itself. 16. How did the narrator react to Mourad's proposal of having a ride on the horse? Answer. Despite some initial hesitation about the horse being stolen or not, the narrator could not resist the temptation of having a ride on the horse. He leapt into his clothes, jumped down to the yard from the window, and leapt up on the horse behind Mourad. 17. Describe the house of the narrator. Answer. The house of the narrator was on Walnut Avenue and on the edge of the town. Behind the house there was a rural area. To be precise, there were vineyards, irrigation ditches, orchards and country roads. 18. What did the narrator say about the crazy nature of Mourad? Answer. The narrator said that Mourad was looked upon as one of the craziest members of their family. He added that Mourad was thought to be the natural descendant of their uncle named Khosrove. As an example of Mourad's crazy nature, the narrator told that Mourad's singing was synonymous to roaring. 19. How did the narrator describe Uncle Khosrove? Answer. An enormous man, Uncle Khosrove had a powerful head full of black hair and the largest moustache in San Joaquin Valley. He was very furious, irritable and impatient. He had the habit of unnecessarily saying, "It is no harm, pay no attention to it" every now and then. 20. Narrate the incident concerning Khosrave, Arak and the barber. Answer. One day Khosrove was having his moustache trimmed in the barber's shop. His son Arak ran 8 blocks to tell him that their house was on fire. In reaction, Khosrove spoke in a loud voice that it was no harm and that Arak should pay no attention to it. 21. How was Mourad different from his father Zorab? Answer. Mourad was totally different from his father Zorab. Mourad was crazy. It was believed that in the matter of craziness he was the natural descent of Khosrove. However, Zorab was diametrically opposite to him in the sense that he was practical and nothing else. 22. Why did the narrator say a man could be the father of his son's flesh, but that did not mean that he was also the father of his spirit? Answer. Zorab was the father of Mourad. However, there was difference in their character. For example, while Zorab was practical, Mourad was crazy. So the narrator said, a man could be the father of his son's flesh, but that did not mean that he was also the father of his spirit. 23. Why did the narrator say, the distribution of the various kinds of spirit of our tribe had been from the beginning capricious and vagrant? Answer. There was no similarity in the biological relationship and character type of the father and the son, Zorab and Mourad. While Zorab was practical, Mourad was crazy. So the narrator said, the distribution of the various kinds of spirit of our tribe had been from the beginning capricious and vagrant. 24. Describe the joint riding of Mourad and the narrator on the white horse. Answer. In the course of the joint riding on the white horse, the narrator sat behind Mourad. Mourad kept the horse under control. Therefore the riding was pleasant. As Mourad wanted to have a solo ride, he made the narrator get down. Thus the joint riding came to a close. 25. Reproduce the debate between the narrator and Mourad concerning the narrator's solo ride on the white horse. Answer. The narrator expressed his desire to have a solo ride on the white horse. Mourad left it to the horse itself. The narrator agreed to it. Then Mourad suggested that one needed skill to control a horse. The narrator replied that he had the skill. 26. Describe the experience of Mourad's solo riding on the horse. Answer. After Mourad got on the horse, he kicked it with his heels and shouted Wazire. Then the horse stood in its hind legs, shouted and started to run. He made the horse take him across a field of dry grass, an irrigation ditch, and finally returned to the starting point. 27. Describe the narrator's solo riding on the horse. Answer. When the narrator got on the horse, it did not move. At Mourad's advice, he kicked into its muscles. Immediately it reared, snorted, and began to run. It went to the vineyard of Dekran Halabian and leapt over 7 vines before the narrator fell down. 28. How did Mourad react in reaction to the running away of the horse? Answer. When the horse ran away, Mourad expressed his worry about it. He told the narrator to go down the road and himself went towards the irrigation ditch. He advised the narrator to behave kindly with the horse if he found it. He added that he would be near the narrator. 29. How did the narrator and Mourad find the horse out? Answer. In order to find out the horse, Mourad told the narrator to go down the road and the other did so. On the other hand, Mourad went across the field towards the irrigation ditch. After half an hour, Mourad found it out and brought it back. 30. Reproduce the conversation between the narrator and Mourad which established the fact that the latter had stolen the horse. Answer. The narrator asked Mourad how long ago he had stolen the horse. In reply, Mourad asked who thought so. Then the narrator asked how long ago Mourad had begun riding every morning. Mourad did not answer the question straightway. However, it became established that Mourad had stolen the horse. 31. Where did Mourad hide the stolen horse of John Byro? Answer. Mourad hid the stolen horse of John Byro in a barn of a deserted vineyard. The vineyard belonged to a farmer named Petvajian. He was indeed proud of it. However, the vineyard had been subject to neglect in recent times. 32. What did Mourad say about the change of the nature of the stolen horse? Answer. Mourad said that the stolen horse was out of his control initially. He added that he knew how to have a simple and honest understanding with a horse. He also told that by applying it he made the horse to behave nicely with him. 33. How is John Byro described? Answer. John Byro is a farmer. He is an Assyrian. Out of loneliness he has learned to speak Armenian. He has the habit of smoking cigarette. He is a simple fellow. Therefore he reports the event of the stealing of his horse plainly. 34. What did John Byro say about the problems he had to face due to the stealing of the horse? Answer. John Byro said that due to the stealing of the horse his carriage had become useless. He added that therefore he had to walk the distance of 10 miles to reach the house of the narrator. He also said that because of it he felt pain in his left leg. 35. How did Khosrove react when John Byro reported about the stealing of his horse? Answer. When John Byro reported about the stealing of his horse, Khosrove became very irritated and said that it was no harm. Khosrove added that in comparison to the loss of homeland which John Byro had suffered, the loss of the white horse was nothing. 36. How did the narrator's mother justify Khosrove slamming the screen door before John Byro? Answer. The narrator's mother justified Khosrove slamming the screen door before John Byro by saying that Khosrove has otherwise a soft heart. She added that Khosrove was homesick, implying that the matter of John Byro's horse being stolen was not therefore important to Khosrove. 37. What was Mourad doing when the narrator went to his house? Answer. When the narrator went to Mourad's house, Mourad was sitting under a peach tree. He was trying to repair the injured wing of a young robin bird because it could not fly. He was talking to the bird as well. 38. What is the dispute between the narrator and Mourad about the time span for which they wanted to keep the horse before returning it? Answer. The narrator wanted to keep the horse until he learned to ride. To Mourad's assumption, the time span was a year. He did not want to keep it for so long a time before returning it. In fact, he wanted the time span to be 6 months at the latest. 39. What did the narrator and Mourad do with the stolen horse for 2 weeks, and with what effect? Answer. For 2 weeks the narrator and Mourad took out the stolen horse from the barn of the deserted vineyard of Petwajia in the morning and rode on it. Every day, though the horse behaved well with Mourad, it took the narrator over grapevines and threw him away. 40. Describe the encounter of the narrator and Mourad with John Byro. Answer. One morning while the narrator and Mourad came across John Byro. On inspecting the horse, Byro concluded that the horse was his stolen horse. However, the familial prestige of the narrator made him modify his opinion and say that the horse was the twin of his stolen horse. 41. Why did John Byro say, "I would swear it is my horse if I didn't know your parents"? Answer. On inspecting the horse, John Byro found that it was his horse that was stolen. However, his knowledge about the honesty of the parents of the narrator and Mourad prevented him from thinking that they had stolen his horse. Therefore he said the quoted words. 42. Why did John Byro say, "A suspicious man would believe his eyes instead of his heart"? Answer. On inspecting the horse, John Byro realized that it was his stolen horse. His heart told him about the honesty of the parents of the narrator and Mourad. So rather than suspecting them, he concluded that the horse was the twin of his horse. Therefore he said the quoted words. 43. Why did Mourad and the narrator return the stolen horse of John Byro? Answer. From their encounter with John Byro, the narrator and Mourad realized that their theft was exposed. They possibly feared that their conduct might stigmatize the age-long honesty of their family. Therefore, on the day after their meeting John Byro, they put the horse to the barn of John Byro. 44. What did John Byro report to the narrator's mother? Answer. John Byro reported to the narrator's mother that his horse that had been stolen was returned to him. He added that to his dismay his horse had gained both good health and good temper. He thanked God for both of these. Before concluding this video presentation, I request you to subscribe my channel, to put forward your queries in the comment section of this video presentation, and to share my video presentations to your friends. I thank you all. See you again in my next video presentation. Thank you.